What's going on, guys? I'm gonna do another subscriber game review / coaching session. This time for Nick. He sent replay over to me that he wanted me to review, so I'll gladly do that. I pulled up his op.gg just to check the match beforehand, what his build path was, what maybe could have been better, runes, etc. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, if you look at team comps, you are Kindred against Rammus. That's actually a pretty messed up matchup for you late game. Early game is pretty easy, but late game, once he gets his Bramble Vest and that kind of stuff, it gets pretty hard. They have a triple frontline tank setup with a Senna and Zillion, so they're actually pretty hard to kill, but you have a good scaling comp with Taric, Jinx, yourself, Fiora. So I think the comps are pretty even, but then again, it is a Bronze 1 game, so team comps don't really matter. You can win pretty much any game with any team comp if you know what you're doing. If we get into builds, so yeah, W star, that's all good. Conk is definitely the right option here since they have a triple melee. You're gonna be in extended fights a lot against Galio, Rammus, and Garen probably. That's good. Bloodline's very good here. Cut down, I would also recommend that against triple tank again. So the domination I don't really get. In low elo I also go domination, I'll be honest about that, and then I go sudden impact into Relentless Hunter. Sudden impact just gives you more damage. Relentless Hunter makes you snowball more because you gain a lot of movement speed if you can get the max stacks early on, which if you path well and correctly and you trust your mechanics, you can do pretty easily. But for this game, since it's probably gonna go to late game, because lower elo games most of the times go to late game unless you can snowball extremely hard and your mechanics are on point. Since it went into late game, I would actually take Sorcery second with Nimbus Cloak and Gathering Storm. Gathering Storm is very good on Kindred. It's just an ADC rune overall. It scales pretty well. Then you want Attack Speed, Adaptive, that's good. I don't really like the armor here. I would have gone with MR because they have 2 AP with the Zillion and the Galio, and this Rammus, I'll have to check that in a second. He probably built Bramble Vest with Thornmail, and if you didn't know, that actually deals a fair bit amount of magic damage. When you attack him, the damage that's reflected, it's a lot of AP. So magic resist could have done better. Because you don't really need armor, they don't really have a lot of heavy AD anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what I would do differently in builds. For your build path, you want to Blood Razor first. That's good, very good actually, because they have a lot of high HP targets with these 3. And you're kind of forced, I'm guessing, to play front to back because they have a huge front line. You can't really queue through that and go to Senna or something. Merc Threads are good because they have a lot of CC. Black Cleaver is also good for the armor shred. Runance, it's a very standard build. Execution is very good against Garen probably at Conqueror, the Senna healing, so that's good. Then you went into into Blade of the Ruined King very late at 39 minutes. I don't like that. What I would have probably done is when you build your executioners, just straight up complete Mortal Reminder for the Last Whisper effect, the armor pen, because they have a lot of armor stacking, I mean. So that would have been a good option. And then for your last item, you don't really need Boar because you already have Blood Razor and Black Cleaver, so you don't really need the more HP shred. So I think like maybe a GA if you feel unsafe, or maybe even IE if you feel safe that you can dish out a lot of damage would have been better. Let's see. That's so good. Okay, so that's kind of what I would do differently in terms of builds, just by looking at team comps. I haven't looked at the game yet, so maybe then I can understand why you build this, for example, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I would do in terms of changing your build. So let's get into the game. So I'm gonna turn down the volume just a bit. Okay, so let's see what you do. Okay, so as I mentioned in the OPGG review, it's a pretty easy matchup early on until he gets his tank items. Then you can't really do a whole lot against him on your own. You'll need your team to just stun him and get him off of you. If he basically taunts you in a team fight, you might just die because they have a lot of follow-up CC. So it looks like you're starting blue. Rammus will start red. I'm actually just gonna turn the Fog of War. Oops, that's the wrong one. Like that. Okay, I think, okay, you're starting red, that's good. Just wanted to point that out. It's not really good to start on your blue. I do it sometimes if I need a better leash or anything, but you have Fiora and you should know that Ram is going to start bot side because he has a better leash. He doesn't need blue to clear at all, so it's kind of straightforward that he's going to start there. And he's pretty hard to invade because he's pretty tanky anyway, so you don't really want to... I mean, you could, technically you could just start on your blue. You clear faster than him anyway. He starts Machete, you don't know that of course because you didn't see him, but if you know the matchup, Remus is an AoE clearer, so he's probably just gonna go red, Raptors, gonna full clear up there, skip Krugs. So you could have started actually blue, Gromp, red, and then invade him at his blue because he might be low, but it's only, I do it in a lot of videos on lower elo, but that's only if you really trust yourself in your mechanics. So I'm just gonna speed it up until the buffs spawn. You're counting it out well, that's good. Always guide it to your next camp. So yeah, let's see what he's doing. Yeah, so he's doing what I just said. He's just doing the Raptors. Doing blue, that's good. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause it real fast when I talk about something. As a jungler, it's very important to know your laners' matchups. You should know what every champion does, of course. So yeah, you should identify that this is actually a pretty good gank. You can always gank top because you have some follow-up CC, and Garen isn't extremely mobile, so if he's pushed up, that's an easy gank. Mid lane is a bit hard because Galio has a pretty big gap closer, which he can just use defensively, and your Fizz doesn't really have any CC pre-6. So it's actually a pretty hard lane to gank. And your bot is actually also a little hard to gank unless your Taric flashes the stun on one of these two, but they have a very strong disengage comp. So you don't really have a lot of good ganking options. Typically what I do if I don't really have that, pre-6 that is, I would just invade a lot. He's going for a level 2 gank, that's strange. Might actually work though. Didn't. Okay, that's good. Don't know how that happened. Let's see. He just DC'd or something. And they blew both sums, so that's good. Of course, I can't see the chat, but your bot probably ping that out. So you can actually just repeat gank that whenever you want. In the next 5 minutes, his flash and he are down, so that's good. Your mid survive, that's good. You're doing good clear. Decent amount of time. Did it pretty fast. Okay, so you did see Rammus pathing to top side through the wave, so you should just warn your teammates that he can gank top, because mid isn't gankable for him, so, well, top isn't really gankable either, because he has no flash anymore, he can go around, but he's doing a very strange clear. He built Talisman, and he's not doing his AoE camps, that's strange. Looks like you want to catch mid wave, that's good. Your bot lane is very far ahead, actually, so what I would recommend doing is play off of them. I wouldn't really go to the top scuttle. I would have actually just taken bot scuttle, because it's free since you know Rammus is top and your bot has prio. It looks like you're gonna meet Rammus. You didn't see him directly. You lose this. Yeah, you should just back off. That's fine, you lost 50-50, unfortunate. Yeah, that's why I would have just... You were bot side anyway and you... Ooh, you got dove. You can kill that, I think. No, not really. So what I was talking about, the bot scuttle, it's much better because you know that Rammus is top side anyway. Your top has absolutely no prio, your mid was base when the scuttle spawned. He does have prio now, but again, Garen is pretty busted, so you probably don't win 2v2. What you could have done is just taken bot scuttle, go into his jungle. This is down, but it should be respawning soon because he took it second camp. You can just wait for this to respawn, and in that time you can take his Krugs, then gank bot through here. If you use good wall hops, like you can hop over this wall, so you won't get spotted if a ward is there, and then you can wall hop over here again. Make sure you don't get seen by the waves passing, because they do spot you if you're standing around here on my mouse. So you can just wall hop over here, take it, wall hop back, take Raptors, or just go straight to bot, because there's no way they warded this. They don't expect this gank incoming, and they have no sums. You should know that if your bot lane pinged or if you're paying attention, so it looks pretty free. Jinx did go base now, but when the bot squad was up, she didn't, so that's why I'm saying that. Yeah, so you're having a pretty slow early game. It's gonna be a bit hard to snowball and carry the game. So your bot lane has a huge advantage. She's 2 kills up. She has a full pickaxe over basically nothing that they have. The Senna's building cloth armor for some reason. Doesn't really build into anything she needs. Your top lane is pretty doomed. Like, it's Garen. It's gonna be hard. He's going Berserker Greaves, which is a bit strange. First item. So you should never play off top side. Garen's pretty strong anyway, so it's a bit hard to kill Garen as Kindred if you're not ahead. It's good that you didn't take bot squad and I can get Mark. Right here, you just walk straight bot. What I typically do in this case, this is warded, you don't know that, but you can expect that it's warded because they're playing so far up. What you can do, your Jinx might be FK, you'll have to see that. What you can do is go into the Drake pit over this wall here and just flank them. Like, it's warded here, it's a bit of a strange ward because they're playing so far up, but you can just gank through here. Even if they see you, they're way too far up, so you and your team can catch them out. I don't think you kill this. You might kill him, actually, he has no flash. It's a bit unlucky, Senna's pretty busted. I'm pretty sure if you just do what I just told you, like go over this wall into Tribush flank, you get a free double kill for sure. You can kill this. Don't think you need to flash. But Jinx got double kill, okay. Honestly, this game should be over. If you just keep playing off bot side and get fed yourself. Jinx is a scaling champion, she's already 4-0. Probably going Infinity Edge first. Probably waiting for a BF sword. I hope. Okay, so your TP is down and Yaren's TP is down too. TPs are very easy to time and you should always know when they're down if your laner or yourself are paying attention. And since you have such a big lead bot, you have pretty much permanently prio over there. You don't have mid prio, but you don't really care about that because your bot lane is so strong and Fizz can move. So I would just prioritize Drake at this point. Jinx is AFK all the time, it's strange. She's throwing her lead by standing AFK, it's a bit unlucky. Game should be over when she's 4-0, but she just waited like a full 50 seconds in Fountain for a BF sword. It's kind of troll. Okay, so Ramses bot. Don't think you spotted him with that ward there. Yeah, so this is actually just super messed up. Your Jinx is 4-0. She's out farming, but she's a level behind because she stood AFK at the tower for there like 30 seconds, and now she waited in base for like 50 seconds for just a BS sword. Never wait that long. Just take your crit cloak and a dagger and just move back because that's super unworthy. She just threw her entire lead. She should still be strong because she has items, but she's a full level down, which means that they are gonna hit 6 a lot sooner than Jinx, and that's a pretty big power spike for them. Okay, got a flash again, that's good. So I'm just gonna point out, I'm gonna actually write it in a notepad. So they're playing a bit to save, in my opinion. It's a common mistake that a lot of lower elo players make, especially on Kindred. If you trust your mechanics, you can actually play a lot more aggressively, like you'll see me do in my games in lower elo, and just snowball out of control. So I would actually just like to see you spam gank a bit more, because this is he's ahead. He's a bit hard to gank, but you don't even have to kill him. If you just gank him and chunk him low, that gives you pressure in top lane, and it gets your Fiora actually a bit ahead, because she's not that far behind there. Same CS, same items really. He isn't that far ahead, even though he has a kill. They're on Drake. I don't know if you... I don't think any ward spotted them. But he's being missing, so where could he be if Rammus... You don't know where Rammus is and their bot lane's pushed. They're on Drake. You can read that pretty easily when mid lane's missing. What you should do is... What you should have done, actually, is not path topside at all. When I was talking about playing for Drake, just stay bot, gank your bot lane, kill them, and then just transition into Drake with your mid lane. But now they're gonna get a free Drake since your bot lane... Not since, but your bot lane's so ahead, and they get a free Drake, so that's not good. She probably gets another double kill here. I don't think so. That's one kill though. Now they're gonna die because she's greeting. Well, we know that they're on Drake. Pretty sure she's there. They have Dark Ult, but that's not too bad. I think Galio dies here if Fizz just doesn't miss ult. That's a decent fight, but you should have been there, honestly. You're taking a stop side because you saw him bot just die. That's good. At least you made a decent trade out of it. He should be dead. Yeah, you just have to gang. That's good. You have ult, so he shouldn't really kill you. There's no way he kills you. You can just go super aggressive here. Should be a kill. Nice, that's good. It's a good gank. Right now, I would just do Herald. Just walk out of vision and do Herald. Because your Mark is bot side, you just took his top side, so he's probably pathing bot. Which he is. This is just way too safe to go farm your jungle. It's before 40 minutes, so if you just take Herald, help your mid lane push out. I'm gonna point out that the mid tower is actually the most important tower to get early game, because it opens up the map. It allows your Fizz to roam bot or top and get them ahead. Because I don't think... Yeah, he's ahead actually of the Galio, so that's good. I think Herald here, transition into mid, you don't have to kill him. Just help your Fizz push out the lane and just spawn the Herald to get the plates. And then it will help you, your Fizz and yourself to break mid tower and snowball. So I don't like farming here. Their bot is really hard griefing, like... Jinx shouldn't have 7 kills at 10 minutes. But you didn't gank bot. Well, you ganked them once, but it didn't really work out for you. You should have just spam ganked bot and mid, honestly. Just leave your top. That was a good gank though, what you just did, but you should have taken the Herald. Another possible play would have just to, after kill Garen, take Herald, and instead of spawning in mid, actually resetting, because you have a lot of time on the tower place, you don't have to spawn it directly. Your whole bot set is up, so just reset, clear bot, gank their bot lane, help them push out, and just spawn this, so that your bot lane can lane swap to top, and take that tower too, and just get more gold into them. Blood Razor's a good item here. That's good. Smart is a bit risky. So you don't have mid prio. I would gank mid first. That's a good option. It's worth it, but just relieve some pressure. Your top lane has no prio at all. She actually has to back, so you have to be careful before going for this mark. Your Fizz is pretty strong, and he has ult, you have ult, so should be free. That's good. So you're at 4 marks, that's a good number, 12 minutes. I would just start this, honestly. Even if you don't have prio, they don't have vision over it, so you can hug this one. If they come, just queue out. It's a high risk, high reward maybe, because he could face check, but I doubt he will. First TPing in, you can... This is super gankable. Never mind, he just backs off instantly. So they don't know you're here. Yeah, so he didn't even check Herald. If you would have... Yeah, just good. You have very good vision with the Scuttle and this ward, so you're completely fine. She should not be coming, because she's actually giving away that you're on Herald. Should still be free, though, if you don't miss the smite. He actually doesn't even have smite, so... He's hard griefing. You can just kill him here, I think. Should be dead. Nice. Very good. I don't know what he's doing. Griefing. Okay, so it looks like Garen TP'd bot and he didn't get anything. I'm just gonna rewind to see what he did. Yeah, so he's bot right now. He has to... Yeah, he did TP. So he went from base, TP'd over there. Into the trap. That's good, actually. I don't think he gets anything. Okay, that's huge for you. He just went bot, wasted his time. Your Fizz shouldn't try to do anything here. After you gank this, or after you kill this guy, the best play is actually to help your Fiora push top and take tower. Tower is completely free. Take 2 plays before spawning Herald, because the less plates, the less tank it is. Take 2 plates, spawn Herald. Your Herald will get 2 more plates, and then you can finish off the last plate. Getting a tower, first tower gold before 40 minutes is huge. Especially, like, you are pretty far ahead of the Rammus and you kill him here again. So it's very good. If you can get all this gold and relieve pressure off top, because then she doesn't really have to lane anymore, right? So you can roam mid bot your Fiora, that is. So that would be a very good play. Let's see what you do. So you kill this guy. I would just spawn Herald, honestly. Just go top spawn it. Garen is gonna arrive pretty late anyway, and he has no ult. You can't 1v1 him though. That's a 2v1, that would have been good. He's actually walking towards this guy who's griefing. Should be a double kill. This guy, what the? Why isn't he fighting? He has ult. He got a flank. I guess he has no map awareness. If he had map awareness, he would see that you're 2v1 in the river. He should just go full in. He has ult, so I don't know what he's scared of. He just gets ignited and runs away at full HP. What? That's grief by this guy. Should have instantly ulted Galio. You get a kill there. Then you can actually spawn Herald mid, because the top lane option is actually gone since you went mid. And you break this tower, transition into Drake. Because again, your bot lane is super far ahead. This would be a good gank. They're very low. He just blew. This should be a double kill. I would just focus on Zilean. Nice. That's good. I think you kill her. That's fine. Oh, they got the ulti, right? I don't think that's too bad though. That's decent trade. You got 4-man bot, and now this guy is AFK. What is it with these people AFK on their tower? Like, Galio just ulted bot, so he can just get prio of mid, and your Jinx is coming. He still has ult, so your Jinx and FaZe definitely win this fight, if they would go. But since he stood AFK and didn't push the lane, that's kind of a bit int by him. You should just ult this right now, the Fizz. It's good. Okay, should be a double kill, that's not too bad. Nice, and he even flashed that. That's actually not too bad of trade. They do have 2 Drakes, but you're 5 kills on their side versus 15, so the next few Drakes should all be yours. We did see at the OPGG that you lost this game. I don't really understand how this should be completely free. You're fed, Jinx is fed, Fizz is fed, and their Garen isn't as huge. You have a better teamfight comp, so... Just because of the Taric, honestly. Take plant to this side. You can for sure dive this, honestly. You know they don't have ults because they just used them like a minute ago. Going for your mark is also decent because Rammus and Gala just died. But after the mark, I would like to see a dive bot. You don't even have to kill them, just blow their sumps. Get your bot lane even further ahead. Looks like you decide to just back off. That's also fine, but again, has to do with playing aggressively. She's dead. That's huge. You still have Herald. Just you didn't drop it before 14 minutes. That's a big mistake because you got the Herald at like 10 minutes, 11. So you had 3 minutes to spawn it. You didn't spawn it, so it's not gonna get a whole lot of value anymore. So just spawn it here if you can. Yeah, good. You should have used this a lot earlier, though. So I just wrote this down. Let me make this a bit bigger. So yeah, when you get the Herald before the 40 minutes, which you did around 11 minutes, so you had a pretty big window to spawn it before plates. Just spawn it. You don't even have to take the tower. You had like 2 or 3 options to take towers though, so then of course just take them. But you can just honestly drive by mid, spawn the Herald, let it take 2 plates, transition gang into bot, and just wait for the next Herald to spawn. Grab that because you have control over mid. Your mid lane's fed. Your Fiora is somehow outpushing the Garen even though she's behind. You can just take this for free basically because you're ahead too. And then you can just open or use that second Herald to open up the map. So I'm just saying you had a lot of chances to drop Herald to get plates, but you didn't. It's a very, very strong objective. It gets underestimated in my opinion. There's no need to stay here. Herald will get a charge. Yeah, just back off right now. Don't think she can get that. That's good. That's a bit greedy. Paid off in the end, but she's taking top tower. This is actually a very big swing in your favor. You just took double tower. Garen's went top for no reason because the top tower was gone anyway. He is not roaming bot. He won't roam bot. So now your next move, in this elo, I wouldn't do that in higher elos, but in low elo, just ARAM mid, take this tower, because mid tower is the most important tower. It opens up the map so you can just move out of vision. Since you already have the 2 silent towers, that would mean that their map coverage is only from here until their base instead of from this whole side until their base, right? So taking mid tower here is huge as soon as possible. Pause real fast. What the mid tower also does is it makes your minions push further into their territory, so you'll have more mid prio to take the next upcoming drakes, because they already have to. You can't really afford to give up next one, because then maybe they get soul and they can actually win off that. But you're 5k gold ahead, so next drake shouldn't be a problem. Again, she's in team, but the Garen can't really do a whole lot against 2 fed 80 carries and a Fizz with a Taric. And your Kindred actually is pretty strong to Garen. Wouldn't say in a 1v1 if he's ahead, because he's 3 levels up, of course. You're not gonna 1v1 that. But if you time your ults correctly, his ult has like a buffer time, so you can actually save teammates, and he's pretty useless without ult anyway, so. Your Fizz is just fucking hard inting, honestly. I don't know why he doesn't open with ult. What? He kills him, but I mean, if he... Let me rewind that. Fizz, if you're watching, don't think so, but You're roaming top, you have ult. The main phase combo is to ult and then do your spells, because he's already slowed. He can't flash away or anything. He just flashed actually, so just ult him. From out of vision, like right here, it's a free ult. He's just backing off for no reason. It's very strange. And right here, strange place, but it's okay. He still got somebody out to blow flash, what was completely unnecessary. He didn't get a shot down, so it's not even that worth to blow flash. Okay, so lane phase is kind of over. It's mid game, so you don't really have to prioritize the lane anymore. What you can do here, let's see what your build is. Merctraz is very good against. They have 1, 2, 3 AP. Because as I said in the OPGG review, the Bramble Vest deals magic damage. It looks like he's going for it. So Merctraz is good, but then again, they have a lot of CC with Galio, Rammus, Zilli. They have a lot of hard CC, so Mercs is definitely the right option. You're going for Black Cleaver. That's also very good for the armor shred. He's building full tank. He is probably gonna build some armor because you're very AD heavy and you're all your AD almost except for yours fed. So cutting out camps very good. That's good. They should be dead. This is what taking on early towers does. I don't know what they're doing. They're kind of griefing by overstepping out of their tower. Now the Rammus isn't your jungle and Fizz did reset, but your Fizz, let's see, was he on a ward? Looks like he was. Or not. Jinx was on wards though. Okay, you should all just collapse on this. You can't, of course, but your team should win a 3v3, but he griefed his pathing, I guess. Okay, got a Galio. They should just back off. Drake isn't coming up, so that kill is not too bad. If he's actually gonna die too, that's not good. He wasted stopwatch. That's a very bad stopwatch. At least you got your mark. You're stacking up nicely. I will say you're playing it pretty well when you see Rammus on the other side of the map. You're taking advantage of taking his top side and your marks, so that's good. You can't really hold this. Like, it's 4 people against 2, even though you 2 are fed. Well, you have ult. Maybe you can actually kill, because they just blew a lot of cooldowns. Like the Galio ult, the Rammus ult. It's an ult. You're top splitting this. It's actually a pretty good scenario to defend this, to be honest. You have a good wave clear with Jinx, but she's a bit scared to walk up. She's absolutely fucking melting them. You got a guarantee. You can win this 2v4, pretty sure. Okay, you got a heal and a flash, that's good. And a kill, beautiful. That is actually massive. You got the guarantee P, so you know that won't be up for Drake. You don't... I don't know if I like Herald. It's actually pretty good because Zillion died and Rammus reset. But you got Garen TP and you got both Zillion sums. So that's huge. Your Jinx is absolutely massive. You're well ahead of yourself too, that's good. Yeah, it's a fine call. Yeah, you have full priority of the area, so it's good. This Herald should just... You take it straight up, push mid lane, take this tower, go into Drake. Because you'll have prio here, so that's what I would like to see. And I don't know. Someone spam pinging the Drake. Yeah, this is a mistake by your part. I think you're still gonna get the mid tower because your team is pushing, but you should just drop Herald because it's faster playing, so it's not gonna get a whole lot of value anyway. If you drop it mid, you're forcing them to stay mid, so you can take a free Drake. That's a good catch. Don't think you kill him, but he's slow. He can't really contest Drake anymore. Just gonna write it right there. So you're holding onto Herald a bit too much in my opinion. You can just drop that anywhere. So we'll get value anyway and we'll just draw pressure. This should be free. Don't think there's a way that they contest with the Rammus basically no HP. Ooh, you don't have smite though. Okay, nice. That's good. You also got a Sen ult. You're resetting, let's see what you buy. Black Cleaver maybe complete. Not quite. Okay, so right now there's not a whole lot happening on the map anyway. You're not in a very good state to take Baron, because you're ahead but not that far ahead. I don't know where your team is fighting a 3v4. That's fine, at least no one died. You should just clear camps right now, just full clear, because you are very close to Black Cleaver, I imagine. Just take that item before the next fight, because the armor share is gonna help a lot. Yeah, so they have double Bramble Vest now, holy shit. They're starting to stack a lot of armor. The Garen isn't yet, but... that was a bit of a grief. Okay, it was actually a good ult. Oh, this fight's not gonna go well for you. Jinx got out. You didn't have Fiora, so it's a bit of a bad fight. Yeah, like I said, there isn't an objective on the map, so there's no need to really fight. What I just said was the correct play, I think. Just farm up, let your team know that you're close to Black Cleaver. Just type it out to them and just tell them to not fight. Because you were very far ahead, but that fight actually just messed things up. They can do Baron now for sure. Looks like they're not going for it. So they're just taking mid. They are actually doing it. This is very griefy by them. Looking at their team comp, they don't really have an AD carry. They have Senna, but she doesn't deal high DPS at all to the Baron. And they have a double mage with a Garen and Rammus, so they do it very slow. Yeah, okay, they decide to back off. They would completely grief their whole lead that they just got if they took that. If they went for Baron. You are still ahead in gold, but your lead went from 5k to just about 1k. You have Black Cleaver now though, so that's good. You still have Herald. You don't have it for too long. What the play here would be is just to tell your Fiora to push out top, which looks like she's going to. And she will probably draw the Garen top, so you can, yeah, just spawn this mid or bot. That's good. Just try to break something open. He's griefing actually, he should die the Rammus. Don't know what your target's doing. Jinx is gonna die, I think. Yeah, I should just walk back in. Okay, now the game gets very hard actually, because Garen's huge. It's pretty hard to kill also, because of his W. Your top did get a tower, but she died. That's not a bad trade, because she isn't worth a lot of gold anyway, but... Yes, right now you and your team are actually just running around the map, not really knowing what to do. Your whole jungle has been up for a long time. Let's see your farm. Yeah, so your farm is okay, but it could be a lot higher actually at 24 minutes. You should have done multiple full clears and just get yourself ahead. Tell your team that you're farming, because of this healer they just want to fight, but that's not always the right option. Just tell your team that you're farming, don't fight, get your items. You're ahead, so you don't really need to force anything if no objective is up. Drake's coming up, you're all top side. If you can get a pick, that's good. Well, you should fight this. Derek should ult, but he's kind of zoned out from the rest. His ult will go off. This is actually a good fight if your Jinx can get in there. It's actually a valuable cooldown blown by your Tarek. And you blue Fizz ult. Oof. Garen doesn't have TP though. I think you can go for Drake. I think you win a 4v4 pretty easily if Garen isn't there. But you're... Yeah, like she doesn't know what to do with her lead. She's running around doing nothing. If you look at items, she has 4 items completed against 1 item from Zillion. So I have really no idea how she isn't carrying this game. She just doesn't know how to. If you're a diver, again, that shouldn't really matter in this case. I don't know why they are so far back. You don't have mid prio, but they don't do either. So you should just tell your team. I don't know how he got so low. But you should just tell your team to go Drake. You win a 4v4 with ease if you just peel for Jinx. It's gone now. That's very bad, honestly. Like, they have 3 Drakes. If they get Soul on that team, Mountain Soul, and when they already have an Ocean Drake, they're gonna become extremely hard to kill. You're gonna get way too much tank stats. Yeah, the 6%, that's gonna stack up to 12% armor and MR, and he's building full tank. He's building armor too, and he's not building armor and MR yet, but he probably will last item or something. Let me rewind that and see what you did. So you'll just reset after the Drake was gone, that's fine. It's fine if you go for him. I don't know if you get your ult off. He should die. Okay. You got. They just need to back off. There's no need to fight anymore. That's a 1-4-0. That's fine. But you can't really do a whole lot with that kill because their top lane's pushing in, their bot lane's pushing in, and their mid lane's pushed in. I don't really understand how this game went south so fast. Guess it was just that one fight where you were all just split when Fiora wasn't there and Tarek wasn't there. Yeah, at this point I had to admit it, but Kindred, if you don't snowball early on, you're just gonna have to scale up. She's not the strongest champion if you don't snowball, especially against a team with triple frontline. So you're basically just an ult bot. You just want to save your Jinx whenever you can with your ult and wait for late game, because I'm pretty sure you do outskill if Jinx doesn't throw her lead any more than she already has. And you're still ahead of Framus. I'm pretty sure you can 1v1 him if you cannot play. Shouldn't be a way that he dies way too fast. Yeah, just clear jungle. You have nothing better to do. Should be dead. Flash, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. You got his flash. Oh, he's griefing. I don't know, wait, what the fuck is Tarek doing? Just walked past him. He's just walking with him, not even stunning him. What? I think if he stuns, you can just turn on him. You have double slow with your slow and Jinx slow, so if you don't kill him, you blow his flash or chunk him, so that's good. You relieve a lot of pressure, and then you can actually fight a 5v5 since he's pretty low. They have a lot of vision. Don't know what she's doing. There's no way she 1v1s the Ram. She's way too far behind. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's dead. Flash saved her at least. Yeah, there's 2 top. You just saw that, so Jinx is doing the right play. Just get bot lane pushing in. You're pushing on mid, that's good. Yeah, it's the right call to farm up. Your team shouldn't really be playing aggressive. They just want to get lane prio in a safe way. Don't fight if no Drake is up, because you were ahead, but now you're actually behind, I would say, in a 5v5 situation. So yeah, you just you and your team just want to farm up like you're doing. Their bot and jungle are actually pretty useless. It's pretty interesting how this game was lost. Don't think Fiora dies. He's pretty low. Okay, Drake's coming up in about 30-ish seconds, a bit more. We're going Runans, that's the right build. Your Fiora doesn't have TP. Like, it's fine if she's getting pressure. If she can, like, if Rammus goes for her, he's kind of inting, because then you get a free Drake. I think you reset just in time, so that's good. See what Fiora actually does if she draws some pressure. It looks like Rammus wants to go for her. She doesn't have flash, so I'm pretty sure she's dead, but she's stalling pretty nicely though. This Drake should be completely free. She should have stalled more. I don't think completely disengaging is the best option. She should just try to bait them in a bit, because now they might make it in time. You have a strong Jinx, so you have double AD carry, so I think you can rush this in time. Rammus isn't anywhere near. As long as your team doesn't die. It's a big Drake to get because you deny them so. Okay, that's good. That's well played. Nice, and she's making more pressure. Like, she's super far behind, but she's actually not playing it too badly. Like, as long as she is drawing Garen topside, which she has been doing for, like, almost the entire game, he is pretty much their whole team, so that's good. Lack of control words though. I don't see a single control word on anyone. Like, if Taric would have some control words, like this whole area is warded on by the enemy team. So if you can just get some deep vision, that would be good. But in low elo doesn't really matter, but can help you. Okay, so if you're STP again, what the right play here would be is honestly to just reset. I think you have Runa. Oh, you already have Runa, so you don't really have a lot to reset. You're gonna get Executioner soon, which is good. The right play, I don't know why she's pathing top again. She should just go bot. She has TP. Draw someone to bot while you play around Baron. I don't see any team playing for Baron, so. Because you're not really ahead, but you're not behind either. I think you can win a 5v5. With good utilization of Fiora and Terrical, that's good. That would be a one fight, I think. Because he's bot, he's getting bot prio, that's not good. She should have been bot to counter that. Cine might die, he burns ult. That's fine, that's a bit cool, then they should just disengage. Okay, so that's fine, he has no mana and he blew ult. You also got a send out, I think it's totally fine to just rush Baron here. They have vision, just clear vision first. Galio stop. He has ult, but he has no TP, so... Yeah, this full on disengaging. I don't like disengaging here. You should move. Looks like you didn't see that. I think you could have helped there if you ulted there. It's just lack of map awareness, I guess. Oof, that's really bad. Now they can get a Baron, actually. You could have prevented that if you didn't reset. Yeah, because you had your ult and Taric was ulting, his ult was buffering, so you would have stalled for a lot of time. That's actually a game-winning play for their team. Because they get Baron here, I'm pretty sure. Looks like they're not going for that. That's pretty grief by them. Garen's just solo carrying, he's a pretty busted champ. He has no flash, no ult, so it's not really a threat. That's a Baron for sure. There's hard griefing if they don't go for it. He's just gonna push out bot with DP, so... They just don't want to get Baron, I guess. Yeah, from here on out, there's not a whole lot you can do, as I said before. You didn't snowball as hard as you should have. So right now you're actually just depending on your Jinx to carry, to do something. Look at the CS difference in bot. Cine has 100 CS at 35 minutes. That's so bad. No idea how they won, honestly. Well, because Garen, I know how, but... So an Executioner, and after this you didn't complete Mortal Reminder. But if you look at their team, triple tank and the only real strong guy, guy was pretty strong, but he's not the reason why you're losing. It's only Garen. So if you would have just bought Last Whisper, that would be a much better option than going for Bork. Jinx build Lord Dominic's, that's good. They're very out of position here. You don't have vision because your Taric isn't really warding the correct areas. Yeah, they have full control over your whole jungle. That's really not good. Because now that means that they have control over Drake too. I mean, Ram's is base, but... First TP, so it's fine if she's splitting. If you give this Drake, the game is basically over though. There's not a whole lot you can do to win. Because it's Mount and So for their team. They just become unkillable. Oh, 2 flashes. Yeah, so they get Drake. You're dead too, and your Jinx is... Yeah, she's dead. I don't know why she didn't TP. She just got 1v1 by a ceiling with 100 CS, I guess. She could have made that a 4v5, maybe have a chance then, but... Now she just stints in 1v1 when she's 2 levels down, and like... She has 2 items against his almost full build. It's actually a pretty like, close fight though, somehow. Oh, she actually wins that, wow. No idea how. He has 3 items over her. Guess he didn't have ult there or something. So they're just taking Baron. Yeah, there's really nothing you can do anymore. You have lost complete prio over everything. Because, like, this game, I wouldn't say it's your fault necessarily. You could have carried, honestly, if you played a bit more aggressive, if you trust your mechanics and you know matchups and that kind of stuff. You could have played more into his jungle and deny Rammus XP, gold, that kind of stuff, and make him pretty useless. So it will basically make the game 4v5. But like losing all these objectives is not your fault actually. Well, losing the first couple of drakes, oh, what the? That's huge actually. If you can just disengage, full disengage, I don't know where he's going in. Sitting as ult, that's never a kill. He just hinted the bad player, I guess. That's actually a huge steal though, if you can get away. After those kinds of steals, just spamming the shit out of your teammates to fall back. Just fall back, you can't kill this guy. Holy. Guess this is where the game ends. Just because FaZe kind of hinted in. I don't have ult. You can pop off here actually. God, it was just fucking tanky though. Okay, you're playing it very well. That fight was very good for you. I think you could kill him. Q? Huge, actually. You did all lose Baron except you, but that's actually a little bit of a comeback there. That Jinx steal was beautiful. You got both inhibs back. So you shouldn't lose absolutely everything if your inhibs stay up. And like it's a late game. That means that death timers are actually pretty high. So yeah, you're pushing on mid, that's good. FaZe is going top, he should push that out for sure before the other Drake spawns. And when Jinx is up, she should just path bot and get bot prio. It does spawn in like 3 minutes, but just try to maintain the prio in the lanes. I'm guessing next fight is where it goes wrong. Like, it can go either way though. If they ace you, they win, but if you ace them, depending on how many of your teammates are alive, you can actually end. Because again, death timers are very high at 40 minutes. Even if you ace them in your base and they don't have inhibs, you can definitely push in, probably end. Or just take inhibs and get prio over Elder Drake, and basically at this state of the game, whoever gets Elder Drake wins the game. Because they most likely win the fight. She's gonna take red, that's fine, you should give that up to her. She threw her lead extremely hard though. Just by staying AFK in lane and that kind of stuff. This doesn't look like a bad fight. Fiora got a lot. She killed Senna and she got Zilean ult and Garen ult. They don't have a lot of cooldowns. I don't. Oof, you actually lose this one. That's surprising. Jinx positioning, I guess. Like, I don't know what she's doing. She didn't even get. Oh, she did get taunted, I guess. She doesn't really use her range though. Like, she's walking melee range and that kind of stuff. Guess this is where you lose. I don't think you can defend that with 2 people against 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the game. That's a bit unlucky, honestly. That fight looked good at the start because your Fiora actually played it pretty well. She got a lot of their valuable cooldowns, so she killed Senna, so that's very good by her. You were there a little bit late. I guess that's one of the problems. Then again, there wasn't really a need to fight, so I understand why you went up to get that prio, which I just talked about. That's good. By your part, there wasn't a need to fight, so I don't know why your team went in. Again, basically because of the elo and this elo, there's a lot of fights breaking out, so maybe it's just even better late game to just stay with your team all the time. Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do here, I think. He's just extremely tanky. so that's the game. So I'll just pull out the notepad again. So yeah, what I talked about early game, we're playing a bit too safe. Also with the heralds and that kind of stuff. You could have played a lot more aggressive, and what I would also recommend is always to play with your strong lane. You didn't gank a bot as much, bot and mid as much as you should have. Your top lane was losing, so just ignore her completely. There's no need for you to go anywhere near top. But if you could have ganked mid and bot a lot more and snowball them even further, this game would have been over for sure. So you're playing too safe, so play a bit more aggressive. And those herald misplays where you could have gotten it a lot of times. Like herald gets underestimated a lot. I think it's a very strong objective. The first one especially, to open up the map. You held on to it for a very long time, which wasn't necessary. I talked about it in the video where you could have spawned it. So yeah, definitely look for that. First herald for play, second one is to open up the map. That's always good. So you held on to it for a bit too much. And yeah, just play with your strong lane. That's basically it. I don't think this game was your fault. You play it pretty clean. Just a bit too safe. You should trust your mechanics a bit more, especially in this elo. They don't really have map awareness, the enemy team, nor did your team. So playing into their jungle and playing aggressive for your marks, it actually works 9 out of 10 times in this elo. So yeah, that's basically it. Just play a bit more aggressive. Not your fault that you lost this. If you look at scores, you played pretty well. You did a pretty good amount of damage, I saw in your OPGG. Just Jinx doesn't really know how to carry. An 8-0, I think she was Jinx, should completely take over this game, but she didn't. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.